Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Glenn Kellaway from the basement, Americana Sam, two good friends I've met on the internet the last 5 years. Every time we get a chance to get together and do a video, it's really a pleasure of mine. So I'm glad to be with these guys. We're talking about Jackson Browne today. This was Sam's idea. He texted me last week and said, I think we should do a Jackson Browne video. So it was about time. I've been a little rusty, so I'm glad to get back into the groove. We'll do a top 10 song list, personal list. So we expect to see some variants on these lists here of what we like. We're going to go with Glenn first, followed by Sam and myself. Do a 10 through 6 and then rotate and go 5 through 1 and get till we get to the top. So I'm looking forward to this. Of course, Jackson Browne's one of my favorite artists, up there near the top. I like that introspective songwriting style, and he just has everything I'm looking for in a songwriter. It's personal, articulate, and he's questioning himself and the world. And sometimes no answer to these difficult questions, but he's going to give it the old college try anyway. So here we go. Glenn, what do you have? 10 through 6.
Okay, first of all, I got to apologize. I pulled all my CDs. I was telling Rich before we started, I misplaced my Late for the Sky CD. It's like an essential album in anyone's collection, and I now don't have it. So I won't be picking that up and showing it when I come up with a Late for the Sky song.
Okay, understood.
Number 10. This is an album that kind of came out around 1980, I think, or something. Maybe or something like that. Was Lives in the Balance?
86.
86. I really like this album. It's somewhat political.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a gorgeous song on there called In the Shape of a Heart.
Yeah.
Which I think is just an incredible, well-written song. Especially when he talks about the hole in the wall and getting dropped. And then later he comes back to it and it resolves itself with the hole in the wall. It's just an incredible song. It's almost like a book.
It is.
In a 3-minute song or 5-minute song. Just love that song. In the Shape of a Heart. Number 9 from the Jackson Browne album, self-titled, which is also called Saturate Before Using, because that's what it says on the bag, on the thing on the front or whatever. But another beautiful song called Looking Into You.
Yeah.
I love that song. Another beautiful, beautiful lyrics, great song. This album's just packed full.
It is.
Number 8 from Late for the Sky. I'm going with the last song on side 1, The Late Show. Love that song. Yeah. Pull up the Chevrolet and let's just take off, close the windows. Great song, Late for the Sky. Then I'm following that up with number 7. I do not have on a Jackson Browne studio album, and I'm not even sure what album it's on. I have it on the solo acoustic live, and it's called The Birds of St. Mark's.
Yeah.
And I wish I could recite the lyrics to it because it's just so incredible. But sending the birds over the castle wall and the queen, it's just he's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything more to say about Jackson. He's just an incredible writer. And that's my number 7.
Right.
Number 6, also from Late for the Sky. Hope you guys can see it. And that would be the last song on the album, Before the Deluge.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great song.
Perfect.
That's my 6. 10 to 6.
Excellent. All right, Sam.
All right. Yeah, my Jackson Browne journey was later. It was because of Rich. It was a big part of it. And thankfully I got to see him after COVID with James Taylor, and that was a really good show to see them both together. So mine I don't have as many deep cuts, but I do have a few, especially on this first half. Number 10, I have the song put away with my Christmas stuff, but I'm going to go with the song The Rebel Jesus.
Yeah.
That he did with the Chieftains, which is just
it's also on that.
I do have that. I didn't pull it, but thanks to Rich. But yeah, just a great song, about him. Kind of also a political song, a commentary on religion and different things that he believes in that align with religion, but don't go with the organized part of it. So
Right.
I think it's a great song. I've heard some neat covers of it as well. So I really like that song, "The Rebel Jesus." Number 9, I'm gonna go with the title track, "The
Yeah.
Pretender," which I first heard when there was that I guess it was the 25th anniversary of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert that came out. He did that song, I think, with Graham Nash and David Crosby, and I fell in love with it then. Found this record at Barnes and Noble, for $5, and this is one of my early Jackson Browne moments. So I absolutely love that song. Again, it was a highlight when I saw him open for James Taylor. This is the song James Taylor came out and sang it with him, which was a great time. Just about a guy down in his luck, doing the 9 to 5. Fantastic tune. So "The Pretender" for me at number 9. I'm done with that. Number 8, I'm gonna go to the newest Jackson Browne album, which is called "Downhill from Everywhere" from 2021. And there's a great single on here called "My Cleveland Heart," which sounds like old school Jackson Browne. He's got that slide guitar that could have been played by David Lindley. Obviously, we lost David, but a fantastic song. If you don't know the song "My Cleveland Heart," it's about an artificial heart that's made in Cleveland, Ohio, where they make a lot of those pacemakers and things like that. So it's just a fantastic kind of upbeat number, kind of a creepy video, but it's a great song if you don't know it. Number 7 from the second record, "For Every Man," we're going to go with the early tune "These Days," which is a lot of people's favorites. He wrote it when he was a teenager. Obviously, Nico had the first real access to it with her version of it, and then he put it out a few years later on this album. Just a beautiful song by a kid that wrote it, and here he is a few years later, 1973, redoing it. It's just a beautiful song. I love his version compared to Nico's. I know hers is the most well known, but Jackson's version on "For Every Man" is just perfection. It's a beautiful tune.
You got to correct you. The actual first person who would have had access to that song was Greg Allman, because he wrote it when Greg Allman and Jackson Browne lived together in L.A. as struggling songwriters.
Well, I guess technically,
and Greg Allman, he played it for Greg Allman a lot when they were together and living together. And Greg Allman eventually recorded it too, not as quickly
his last
as
album, right?
Nico did it.
Yeah.
Well, it's on his first solo album called "Laid Back," actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Nico definitely beat him to it.
Yeah. Right. No, I did not know that. "These Days." Sorry for the glare. Number 7, and then I'm going to stick to this. I wasn't going to put this song on there, but I went ahead and did it. I'm going to put "Take It Easy," and I put it a little bit lower. I mean, obviously, the Eagles version is the definitive version. And I remember, again, he did this at the show. He came out during the encore with James Taylor, and they sang it together. And I remember my mom asking me after, she said, "Why did they do that song?" And I said, "Well, Jackson was a co-author of it with Glenn Frey. They were living on, Jackson was downstairs in the apartment, and the Eagles were upstairs, at least him and Don Henley." But yeah, I love the Jackson Browne version, and then how it goes right into "Our Lady of the Well" on this record. But yeah, fantastic version. That's a perfect song, perfect imagery. So "Take It Easy," Jackson's version, number 6.
That was it. Number 6.
There you go.
All right. I have the same number 10 as Glenn, believe it or not. I can't believe we hit on one right out of the bat. I've got "In the Shape of a Heart" as my 10th off of Live in the Balance. And like Glenn said, this is mostly a political album, but he's got this breakup song in the middle of it called "In the Shape of a Heart." There's a ruby on the stand that's around her neck, and it goes into the wall from an ancient fight, a fist in the wall, and then he drops it down. That signal, it's like a symbolic relationship kind of thing. Great imagery. And I like this lyric here. "I guess I'll never know what she was talking about. I guess I knew what she was living without." He's reassessing where things went wrong in the relationship and how it got to where it got to. So I think it's beautiful songwriting and, again, introspective. Number 9, title track, For Every Man. This is a sad but hopeful song here. He's a dreamer, Jackson. He's an idealist, and he wants a better place for mankind. It's his theme through a lot of his music, and it appears on For Every Man. I love Russ Kunkel's drums on here towards the end, and then David Lindley comes in with the guitar. David Crosby does the harmony vocal. Just a well put together album, and that song in particular. What do I have here? Number 8. Oh, same album. These Days, as Sam mentioned, beautifully written. The song is about mistake and regret. And of course, the classic line is, "Don't confront me with my failures. I have not forgotten them." I mean, 16-year-old writing that, you would think a 45 or 50-year-old would write that, but not the case. Jackson was ahead of his time. Number 7, off of Late for the Sky. I do have the album, Glenn, just for the heck of it here. And number 7 is For a Dancer. This is a song he wrote about the death of a friend who was a dancer who died in a house fire. And very poetic, emotional. I mean, I get teared up every time I hear the song. The choice of words and imagery here is just heartbreaking. Again, David Lindley with that fiddle, sort of mournful. It's like being at a funeral or a dirge or whatever. It's just a beautiful song. And number 6, off the first album, Doctor My Eyes. This is, a hit for him, arguably one of his more popular songs, but facing that harsh reality that there's some unpleasant and ugly things in the world, unjust, and coming to understand and cope with the realities of what's going on. Doctor My Eyes, just another one of those ones full of metaphors, and I think it's one of his best. So I put it at number 6, just outside the top 5.
Great.
All right, Glenn, 5 through 1.
What are we doing now? 5 to 1? We doing them all?
Do them all.
Okay. I got to ask you guys. I know Sam said he saw him with James Taylor. Have you seen Jackson live, Rich?
Twice.
Yeah.
I saw him once. I believe he opened for John Fogerty as an opening act.
Wow, that's
with the band, and then I saw
good double bill.
Yeah, and I saw him on the acoustic tour that those albums come from, where he was on stage by himself. He had about 18 guitars behind him, and he took requests, and it was just one of my favorite concerts of all time. It was real intimate. I was in the 3rd row. Really great viewing for that. I enjoyed that really a lot.
Wow. I saw him in, I think around 1973 for the first time at Massey Hall. Bonnie Raitt opened.
Mm.
And that's when he had David Lindley with him and that. It was an awesome show. It was right around the For Every Man tour kind of that era.
I never got to see him with Lindley because he was solo on the one, and he played with a different band when I first saw him on that Fogerty tour. So I missed out on Lindley.
And then I saw him again in Cleveland with a triple bill with Keb Mo and Steve Earle.
Oh, okay. There you
pretty
go.
Cool too. Number 5 for me. Again, I'm not sure what studio album this is off. Maybe you guys can help me. Another song off the solo acoustic. It's The Barricades of Heaven.
Yeah, I think that's on Looking East.
Is it? Okay. Just an incredible song. Lyrically, just brilliant.
Yep.
Number 4. 4 and 3 are tied together. But I'm going to say 3 first and then 4. So number 3 is Sing My Songs to Me, which is the second last song off of my favorite Jackson Browne album, For Every Man.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're part A and part B. Sing My Songs to Me, and it goes right into For Every Man, which is number 3, is my next pick. So I put them in 3 and 4 as they are on this. And I just love those tracks. I love this album so much. And
Yeah.
For Every Man, that guitar solo that David Lindley plays at the end of the song and it fades out with the guitar. I wish that lasted for 20 minutes. It is the
I
most
know.
beautiful flowing guitar solo
He's great.
in history. I just love it. I could just listen to it forever. But yeah, this is just an insanely good album. So that's my 3 and 4. Number 2, from Late for the Sky, the title track, Late for the Sky. Again, incredible, just lyrically, just when that album came out, before there was anywhere you could print lyrics and do all this kind of stuff if they didn't come with the album, I put that album on and played track 1. I wrote the lyrics out for the whole album because I was so enamored with the lyrics on that album that I sat and I'd have to put the needle back and get the first couple
Yeah.
of lines and then start over. I got the whole album I transcribed because I just, that lyric, that's my second favorite Jackson Browne album, but I think absolutely his genius shines through on that album.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is the song both you guys have picked so far, but it's These Days. I mean, written as a 16-year-old kid. Like Rich said, it could have been a 60-year-old man looking back. I mean, yeah, incredible song. And yeah, that's my number 1.
Great pick.
I thought that was going to be your number 1.
I thought it was too.
Yeah. Number 5 for me, one I don't have on a record because it was a single. But again, might be predictable. I'm going to go with Somebody's Baby at number 5. From Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He was on that soundtrack. And I think it showed up on the greatest hits.
He must be somebody's baby.
It's so poppy and so good. And
I have it on the very best of Jackson Browne.
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just a great tune. It's kind of like, I think all guys have gone through it where you see the girl and you're like, well, she's too good looking. She's got to be with somebody else. And, you got to take your shot. So just a great tune. So catchy. His voice is so good on it. So I couldn't get around that one. It's so fun to me. Number 4, it was mentioned from the first record, Doctor My Eyes. I know in the Eagles documentary, Glenn Frey talks about just hearing that piano part down below them all day long. And they're just thinking, what is Jackson doing down there? And they're like, well, he's writing a hit, and that's how you write a hit record. And so then the Eagles kind of learned from Jackson to be songwriters, learned off of each other. But just a great tune. That piano is just so iconic at the beginning.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 3. I haven't showed this album yet. This is the Running on Empty record. I'm going to combine the last 2, the Loadout into Stay, which I know he didn't write Stay, but the Loadout in particular about the roadies, and perfect conclusion to this record. It's a concept album about life on the road. It's recorded all over the country and hotel rooms and buses and sound checks and all those things. And just a fantastic, it's my favorite Jackson album. And yeah, that's just one of those songs that I don't get tired of. He didn't sing it when I saw him. I wish he would have, but he had a shorter set. But just a beautiful combination of tunes. And then David Lindley hitting that high harmony on Stay, singing.
Yeah.
Frankie Valley.
Yeah.
Just like that, I'm closing my eyes.
Killer. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my number 3. I'll keep this record out, and I'm going to go with the title track for number 2. Just perfect. The guitar part again with that drum. It's just I could hear that go on too. It's just again a perfect pop tune. Just so many different elements to it that just make it perfect. That if it takes all night, that'll be all. It's just he can write the heartbreaking stuff. He can also write a good pop tune. He does more of the heartbreaking stuff, but when he puts out a good pop song, it's hard to pass up. Yeah. He's right up there with the Eagles or any of those guys in that same kind of genre. So yeah, that's my number 2. Number 1, this might be the kind of the dark horse of my list, and people that watch my channel and have heard me talk about it know that this song holds a special place to me. Again, when I saw Jackson Browne it was the first concert I saw right after COVID, and I never thought I would see a concert again because we couldn't be around 10 people, much less 10,000 people. And he came out, and Jackson was one of those early celebrities that I heard that had COVID, so we were all worried about Jackson for a little bit. And then he comes out and he sings the title track to this album, I'm Alive. And man, did that do something to me. It's just a perfect song. I think it's so good. For a kind of a mid-career, what is this, 91, 93, from the I'm Alive album. The rest of the album is pretty good. But that song, I just absolutely adore it. And it quickly rose in my ranks of favorite Jackson Browne songs. So that's my number one, I'm Alive.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody had that. I think that's his last really great album. Glenn and I were talking before we came on. That's the last really solid, beginning to end album he's ever made. 1993. He's had some good songs after that, but I like every song on I'm Alive, although none of them made my list.
Yeah.
That shows you how good Jackson Browne is, because none of those songs made my list, and yet they're all great.
That's my wife's favorite album. I'm Alive.
It's really good. It's really good. If anybody out there hasn't heard I'm Alive, go check it out. Number 5 for me, again, Wait for the Sky comes in here at number 5, and that's Fountain of Sorrow. I love this song. Another reflective song about a failed relationship, triggered by a photograph inside a drawer. Again, the imagery is fantastic. Supposedly it's about Joni Mitchell and he, and she's looking at, the light just happened to catch her. He doles that out in the music. Just fantastic. Number 4, Glenn had it, Before the Deluge. A great interpretive song. Wake Up Before It's Too Late, environmental, pollution, global warming, nuclear threat, war in general, doomsday. It's sort of man destroying the earth and the reckoning that will follow. David Lindley's fiddle is all over this too. A great, great Jackson Browne song. Number 3, title track, Running on Empty. Had to have it on the list. Life on the Road. Sam documented that. Running out of energy after you've been on the road, burning out. Looking back on how he got here. In 69, I was 21, and I called the road my own, sort of optimistic and all that kind of stuff. And then I don't know when that road turned on to the road I'm on, that turning point where it's getting old already. And you look around at the friends that I used to turn to pull me through. Look into their eyes. I see them running too. So just beautiful lyrics. And that whole album's excellent. Number 2, another title track again, The Pretender. Real high on my list. Disillusionment, when your dreams and aspirations don't turn out the way you intended. Caught up between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender. I love that line. Sort of, you had these dreams and the idealism that the 60s had, and then you realize you're falling into the masses and settling for a life that you really didn't intend to have. Happens. My favorite song of all time by Jackson, the perfect Jackson Browne song for me, title track, Late for the Sky, is numero uno. Again, it's honest, straight from the heart. I like this lyric here, tracing our steps from the beginning until they vanished into the air, trying to understand how our lives had led us there. Simple, but straightforward and very meaningful. And then he's looking inside saying, you never knew what I loved in you. I don't know what you loved in me. Be the picture of somebody else you were hoping I might be. I mean, how do you write those songs at such a young age? I mean, his best work was in his 20s, and he's got laying the groundwork for what was to come. But a lot of artists that I respect, their best work is in their 20s. They get that out of the Dylan, Springsteen, Paul Simon, Bruce Springsteen, Lennon and McCartney. They all write their masterpieces when they're in their 20s. And where do you go from there? You have to sort of build on it from an early age. They have a gift. Thank God they do, because we get to be have the pleasure of listening to their songs forever. So that's it. Jackson Browne. Any honorable mentions that you wanted to squeeze in that you just couldn't? I mean, there's a ton of them.
Jack Glenn.
The two that I scratched off my list that didn't make my top 10 were I'm Alive
Yeah.
and The Pretender, which you guys both covered. So
Great.
I'm good.
Yeah, I only had one song off his first album, which I think is really a strong album, and I like Jamaica Say You Will and Song for Adam,
Yeah.
Rock Me on the Water. They're all great songs. They really are.
Yeah. It's great. A great debut album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Jamaica Say You Will. You all both mentioned Before the Deluge, In the Shape of a Heart I had as well.
Yeah.
And then again from the most recent album, the opening track called Still Looking for Someone. We're Still Looking for Something. Again, a great tune. Yeah, and I know because Glenn, you're a fan like I am of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. They do a great version of Jamaica Say You Will.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that.
On one of their early records, because Jackson was very briefly in the Dirt Band.
Yeah, that's right.
For a few, maybe half a year. So they were hanging out with him. So they do that. They do that song very early on. So yeah, those are four others that I had, and yeah, I could have picked several from Running on Empty or just so many good tunes.
Yeah, there is. He's just an incredible writer.
Unbelievable. All right, thanks,
I always
guys,
think
for doing
Dylan,
it.
Paul Simon, Jackson Browne are the three for me.
I can't disagree. They're the top for me too.
And Dave Grohl.
And David Grohl, of course. Who's right here with us. He knew we were doing this.
Right.
Hey,
he's here with me.
he's having lunch.
Anyway, subscribe to Americana Sam, Glenn Calloway from the Basement. Leave your favorite Jackson Browne songs in the comments below.
And that dude right there.
Yeah, I'm struggling to beat 700. These guys are in the thousands. Congrats to Sam. He just went over 2,000 subs.
Whoa.
Glenn's over 3, and here I am struggling to get 700, but that's another story. That's not why we do this. We do this to hang out and have a good time and talk music. So
absolutely.
For everybody else out there, take care. Leave us some comments. We'd like to hear some feedback. We'll see you next time. Bye.